Welcome in, everybody, to our 37th episode of Mother's Jail. And if you're watching in the future on YouTube, you're probably thinking to yourself, wait, 37? What the hell happened to 36? For the first time in 2 years, in 2 campaigns, I lost an episode. So episode 36 of Mother's Jail. If you didn't see it live, you will unfortunately not get to see it. So I am going to do a little bit more thorough of a recap than I would normally do. And that way
that works out perfectly fine.
Yeah, which actually pulling the curtain back works out great for us because we actually haven't played in over a month now. So for us here too, we could really use the recap. So last time when we all got together, episode 36 was titled Those Who Fight, and the mortal reminder we're going around Terracin trying to secure more help for the cause. They were trying to specifically put together a new army that was going to be used for a bold new offensive come the springtime, where they were going to basically move all their ships by hand over to Ship Swallow, and then at first thaw, sail them across Ship Swallow Bay and make a surprise landing at Lostport, take the city of Gold Coast, and basically cut off half the army of the Draconic Legion and trap them in the jaw. To do so, though, they're going to need a lot of help because the main army just does not have a ton to give right now. So they have been going on a recruitment tour, and that will see them traveling around Serene, hopefully trying to draw more people into the war now that the war is not so much just a civil war and is more like, hey, there's an ancient dread demon, one of the 7 primevals is leading one of these armies, so we probably need to stop that at some point.
Not just an internal affair anymore.
Yes, exactly. On Terracin, they met Odile Silver, who is the former head of Silver Shipping and Construction and still often uses it as a headquarters. She is currently, however, the Counselor of Extracontinental Affairs, which is a war on another continent that would certainly qualify. And the party was able to convince her of the need for Terracin's intervention, even though she gave them the warning that the armies of Terracin were unlikely to be too thrilled at the prospect of going to fight a war on another continent. Nevertheless, she told you that she was relatively certain that the remainders of the United Allies of Serene, those who journeyed to Terracin to fight Scala so long ago, that there were still plenty of them who were ready and probably willing to fight. The ones who were probably younger in that era, obviously the older soldiers from back then have now retired, but the ones who were kind of green back then are now veterans, and they might be useful to you all. But to get more support, you were told you would need the support of Raven Lyra, who is the head counselor of Stone's Throw, and you went over to meet her at the main castle, and she is a lot. We found out that, for those of you who watched Whispers in Silence, Raven Lyra was the captain of the guard back during the age of Scala. She has now been voted in as head counselor, and she doesn't know how that happened because she certainly didn't put her name in the ring for it. But people seem to like her, and she doesn't know why because she is kind of a bitch, to be blunt. She is very blunt, very old, and very grouchy, and will let you know exactly what she thinks of you. However, she seemed to like the idea of killing another dread demon. She seemed all about that. So you were able to convince her and get her help, though she suggested that it is unlikely she'll be able to mobilize the Terracin army directly. She is going to put out a call for volunteers and put together basically a volunteer army of people willing to go and fight. With the exception of one group that don't get to volunteer, they have to go. She introduced you to Meg Blackhand, who is a combat engineer. a relatively new thing to appear in Serene, and Meg has been trying to prove the worth of her new craft and show its military capability. So they have been given the assignment of, all right, go show us what you can do. You get to go fight a dread demon. And Meg's torn on that. Like, she's excited for the opportunity, but like, oh man, I was thinking like a test demonstration. Huh. All right. But she is going to go with you.
Live fire exercise.
Basically, yeah. This is going to be, yeah, exactly that. I don't remember if this was the last episode or the episode before, but it was important. You all dreamt, and
yes.
this time, instead of dreaming that you were on the moon, you dreamt that you were in the void. And there you met none other than Rin, the prime goddess, who explained to you that, well, she told you about her children, her first 7, and how they all became dread demons. And part of her eternal punishment in the void is self-inflicted because she feels that she failed her children. She warned you that Drahana is beyond saving. That she is the incarnation of anger and destruction, and there is no fixing that. Though you all seemed determined to try. And I suppose nothing more can be asked of you. So.
And I was given a sword.
You were given a sword.
Excuse me.
You were given the next stage of your weapon, if I recall. But it's been a minute.
Yes. Awakened level?
You were given the awakened state. Yep.
Okay.
So, when you all wake up, there's definitely a moment of, okay, if that was a dream, it was a hell of a dream. But very quickly, you see one another, especially those of you who sleep together, and give that look of, eh? Eh.
Eh?
Ramiel has his mom's journal about meeting, open to the entry about meeting
Yeah.
the prime goddess.
Mm-hmm.
It's currently poring over it.
There is a detailed account of her interaction with the prime goddess in there. It talks about how, at the time, it was Drahana who was pinned to the wall. Or to the crystal, rather. Oh, it's also worth noting you all set her free.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Which was also very important. And theoretically, Nova, the sword that you have is now Insidiae, which is the sword that can kill Drahana, or at least imprison her. It may not be possible to actually kill her. So yes, this talks about the time of the Whispers in Silence when they visited, and the Prime Goddess was something of a warden in that era. She was watching over Drahana, and she does recall that Drahana was quoted as saying that she wanted to love the world, but it didn't want to love her. And that broke her. Your mother seems very morose in her telling of this story.
This would explain why she didn't leave the Dawnskale side. Possibly also why the Dawnskale allowed her free reign in her territory. act of mercy. Perhaps someone she viewed as not being a threat. Curious. And he's just kind of like muttering to himself while he's holding the book, walking with while you're
Mm-hmm.
looking down at your phone, kind of thing. But also a little insane looking, just kind of like talking to himself like that.
As opposed to normal Ramiel.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
He's
Uh,
just extra hyper focused.
If I recall, you were all on your way to Alcana.
Was
As-
I believe that was our next stop.
correct?
Yes, you're going to head to Alcana, from where you can get up to meet your Glorianda. So, that morning, you all teleport out and appear in a familiar area. You find yourself in the entrance hall of the city hall that you visited when you first met Falah. You now come in on the opposite side of the room than where you entered last time when you came into the doors. This time you all appear in a teleportation circle off to the left side of the room, and as you do, everyone kind of like stops to look over at you, because it's not every day that a party just shows up in the teleportation circle, and like most of them like immediately just go back to work, but one of them hurries over towards you. They're a young tiefling who looks like they're probably working their first job. Hello and welcome to Alcana. I'll just need to see your travel papers.
Here you go. I assume we have them.
Well, you would show your military pass
Oh, right.
or your military ID.
Here you go.
As she takes a look at that.
Apologies for dropping in unannounced like this.
Of course, Captain and, or sorry, Major, and Major, and Major, and Major, and Commander. Well, they really give those promotions out freely in the Mother's Jail Army, don't they?
No.
And these were hard earned.
Oh, well, I don't mean to insult. I just don't know that I've ever seen 4 majors and a commander come through.
It's a big army. Big military operation. Need lots of delegation.
Extraordinary circumstances and such.
Yeah, more
Aren't
of that
they
than
all?
the other.
Fair enough. Welcome to Kaltanesh. Can I help you?
Yes. Would you be able to fetch Aunt Falah?
Aunt Falah?
Yes.
Sure. I'll tell her that her nephew is here.
Yes. Tell her her nephew Ramia would like to speak with her, if she has a moment to spare.
Sure. I mean, she's usually busy, but I'll see. And she shuffles off nervously.
Oh, well, aren't we causing a big splash?
Well, we couldn't have anyone doubt who we were.
Oh, no, it's just, it seems some of them are now, scared. So let us not try to bring too much panic.
Well, if they are now, they will be once word of our purpose comes out.
I feel like Ayla just looks at her glowing lightning scars and goes, I'll do my best.
Uh,
I was going to say, Nova, I don't think they ought to be scared of me, as opposed to the 2 Amazonians that are currently flanking you right now.
Aren't you also quite tall?
Sorry, say
Yeah,
that
but
again?
he's noodly. He got them noodle arms.
I'm just saying, this is all about height. I think you are also with that. But what I will say is, we do make quite a how you say,
An
Uh,
impression?
yes, it is hard to miss any of us, I think.
Quite true.
The attendant walks back over. Well, she's in a meeting. However, she has asked me to bring you now.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
She turns and leads you across the room. You make your way to the same door that you did last time, which is labeled as belonging to Falah. And she knocks twice, is told to enter, and opens the door. And as you enter in, you do indeed see Falah standing there behind her desk and looking in your direction. Also in the room, well, you don't quite know what to describe this thing as. It
Oh,
looks
no.
vaguely like a tiefling, but its skin is pallid white. Its pupils are very large. Like, think of if our pupils were the size of like our pupils and our irises, that's what this person looks like. Their
so
horns,
like anime.
yeah, like they have huge pupils in their eyes. Their horns do indeed look like tieflings' horns, though they look more just like raw bone than like than say like black horns like a tiefling might have. Their hair is, well, they don't have very much hair. It's super short, and what little there is looks thin, like it's dying. They are notably wearing some sort of mask over their face that has some runic symbols on it, and they glance in your direction as well. Falah nods to you all. Welcome back.
Pardon our intrusion. This is,
I'm sure it must be important. Sorry. Allow me to introduce Demetra of Calicia. And the tiefling looks over and gives a polite nod.
pleasure, Demetria. We come from a different continent. Are you from here?
They seem to think of how to say this. And when they speak, it would be like speaking to someone from 1300s England. They speak in a very old, broken dialect of the tiefling language, which those who played Whispers would know to be Alcanan. I am happy to meet.
Likewise.
Looks
I just
over
kind of
Ayla.
look at Falah for some more context.
I mean, if Ayla can translate, she will, because she speaks at least modern tiefling.
Burley just goes up to them, is happy to meet too.
They take a step back, and Falah puts a hand up. The Tertiarans don't have what we would think of as a strong immune system to the surface world. They have to keep their distance.
I'm sorry.
They
Burley will step back.
shake their head.
Oh, dear.
I am residence Tertiara. Name is Demetra Calicia. Calicia, residence of home. Falah speaks up. They don't use surnames the way that we do. They have a given name by their parents, and then their last name is whatever district they live in of their home. You'll recall last time you were here, we made a rather startling discovery. We have since had contact, as you can see.
Well, that's just delightful.
So these are people that are direct descendants of the Elkanans before.
She nods. before the night the sky burned.
I see.
They look over at that, and Falah says, "That is what we call your apocalypse." And they nod understandingly.
And has it been going well?
It has been difficult, if I'm honest with you. Not only is there a bit of a language barrier, as you can tell, we are overcoming it. Some of the old tiefling scholars do have some studies of what was until now a dead language. However, since contact has been made, they have been dealing with sickness. We have been doing our best to lend all the healing that we can, but this has been a plague for them.
Does it make sense if they were cut off from everyone for... Sorry, I'm trying to remember timelines between this and the game 1,000 years from now.
It's been a little over 2,000, or sorry, it's been a little over
It's
2,800 years
Yeah, yeah,
at this point.
Really?
yeah.
And almost 3,000 years.
Yeah.
And Layla will look like immediately excited, like jumping up of like, oh no, healing things, that's my deal, and then kind of sort of drops back a little. As much as I would like to lend assistance, I'm afraid that it is a much weightier matter that brings us.
Mm. I would hear it. Allow me to finish. Probably best that you hear this as well.
But of course.
Demetra, if you wouldn't mind repeating yourself, these ones are military officers of a different continent. They would know what you have to say. Demetra nods. Our people come from beneath. You are the children of Rin. We are the children of Rin.
All right.
Our home, borders, surface, depths. In the depths, the children of Ket.
Cat is. I thought cat was.
I'm afraid that one's a reference that's missing us.
Ket refers to the spirit of Serene, who the prime goddess loved.
Right, I thought those were the humans.
Supposedly humans are a child of Ket, the only. Would seem not
They're
the
not.
only. Perhaps the only that Ket bore with the prime goddess. And Demetra kind of blinks. Ket gives life in the heart of Serene. Its denizens, dangerous, wild, life unchecked.
What makes them so dangerous and unchecked?
They look at Falah. Laws. Falah nods. We do. We have laws. One law in Ket's domain. The strong live, weak die. Those who are not strong must change and become strong. Ket's children first. Rin's children second.
So they wish to arm the rest of us? Do you?
They home beneath. Stay.
Did she say Fae?
Stay.
Oh, stay. They stay beneath.
So they're trying to push you back to the surface?
When we meet war,
Can they be? Oh.
children of Ket stay. Except when she comes.
When who comes?
When Cat? Oh,
Long ago and recent, children of Ket serve her. Devil.
Scala or dragon?
that seems the question.
Dracana.
No, you would all know that famously, Scala worked with the creatures of the depths. She controlled the worms that let them move her armies around underground. They're probably referring to Scala.
How does I make it all the way to Zalkana? Alright, so
Ket's domain connects like a tree, roots.
And is that the source of your problem of late? The recent serving?
War on surface. We thought all dead on surface. Long ago, first of us led us underground, taught us to survive. After apocalypse, we could not surface again. Those who surface, those who dwelled upon the surface, evil. Underground is our punishment.
what do you mean about those who served?
Ancestors. Killed world.
Their ancestors were trying to kill the world.
We do not know.
Oh.
We just know that they did.
Hmm.
Oh, I see.
Elkhanans.
The world didn't die.
But you
Children
thought
of
it
Rin. Yes. Children of Rin grow strong too.
So you dealt with a long time ago your ancestors doing something that may have destroyed the world. You went underground as punishment. And there you found the children of Ket that war with you when you come into contact with them.
Went underground to survive. Stayed underground as punishment.
I see.
Children of Ket. neighbors.
Hostile neighbors, it seems like.
Yes.
Pardon, I forgot my accent. Hostile neighbors, it sounds like. So are the two of you then... is it unsafe to continue living down there because of the children of Cat?
Always difficult. Always dangerous.
Do you wish to return to the surface?
Dangerous. Manageable. We fight. We learn. We fight better. Now sickness. No strength left.
I see.
Falon nods.
Yes. This isn't something terribly unheard of. It's not as widely it's not as widely known, probably because it wasn't particularly severe, but there was a little bit of that with the offensive against Scala in the olden days. Although from the way you've been talking, it seems that you're getting hit very harshly with that. In different places, diseases manifest differently, and then when you commingle, people aren't prepared for it.
Falon nods. For us, it is a minor illness, easily shaken off in a few days. For them, it's lethal. Similarly, they have a number of fungi down there that are lethal to us. And so
Oh,
our meeting has been complicated.
Well, that one is at least easier to manage, I
lethal
suppose.
fungi?
Let us not eat the deadly fungi, yes? Please?
Well, no. But Brayley's getting Gus flashbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ayla too.
Much of their culture is based around fungi. They eat them, they use them for luminescence, they use them in rituals.
Just
Yes.
flat, emotionless stare at Brayley.
Sounds like my kind of people.
Demetra speaks up. Sanctuary. My people, sanctuary. Flaw nods. Yes, we will need to arrange a place that you can be here, but relatively isolated, as we do not want more of you getting sick. But if you do not have the defenses to protect yourselves, then it would be best that we look to evacuate you. We may look at collapsing the mine as a way to bury whatever is down there. And Demetra shakes her head. Unacceptable. Our home. Sick now, but one day strong again. Take our home back. Very
Makes
well.
sense.
Very well. Then we will post extra guards at the entrance to the mines to ensure that nothing can come out. And they shake their head again. City, exposed. Mine entrance defended. Order of the Crimson Sand will defend.
Is that a name any of us know?
No.
Oh, that sounds like
Gonna
a
look at
military
Falah
name.
like,
Flaw similarly looks perplexed. I'm sorry, the Order of the Crimson Sand. Wielders of blood of old Alcana. Blood hunter.
Perhaps they're sort of military forces or some such.
Oh, sounds like they are proficient in using their blood for something.
Trained. Kill children of Ket.
I see.
Very well then. We will begin preparing a place for your people up here to heal and be safe. You will have food and drink provided until we can figure out what to do about this. Demetra nods. Thank you. And they look to you all. And their eyes linger on you for a moment, Ayla. Order of Crimson Sand.
oh, that wouldn't be what we would call it, but sounds like what I do.
She points to your whip. Order of Crimson Sand.
It's kind of left towards her. She didn't. I mean, it kind of chose her.
Then she has blood of ancient Alcana.
Well, that's fancy.
You might be in luck. Perhaps down there you would not stand out so much.
They stand.
Something tells me I still would.
Do you have tattoo?
I assume no, Callie?
You
I
know,
mean, you
Braylon
might
and
have a
Nova do?
tattoo.
I was
But-
gonna
It's
say,
not like-
I'm thinking of a specific thing in this world.
They reach down and put a hand on your whip. Crimson Sand tattoo.
I don't think so.
Meet with us. Will grant you.
All right.
They look to Flaw. May I have her accompany me? Flaw nods. Let us go. And she leaves with you.
Oh shit.
Flaw kind of exhales as she looks at you all. It's been a complicated few days.
I'll say, and I'm afraid we're about to wrinkle it further.
Yes.
Great.
How much more do you think you can stomach?
They reach under their desk and take out a bottle of whiskey. Go ahead.
Perfect.
Oh,
We are
I
looking-
was thinking your nephew could tell you.
Hey, Ramiel. Go explain why we're here.
Just got back! Fuck!
Just
We're
tell her why
explaining.
we're here.
We're explaining to Fala why we're here. You did miss an ancient Alcanan evolved, and explain about
They explain that they have a blood hunter order called the Order of the Crimson Sand. That
That's where
apparently,
Ayla's whip comes from.
and apparently that whip is a symbol of the weaponry they use. They all use they use whips.
Wait, of the what?
The Order of the Crimson Sand. It's a blood hunter order.
Okay.
And they're taking Ayla to get her basic tribal tattoo to match it.
Hold on. Crimson Sand. Whip is their symbol.
Listen, that guy only knows 2 designs. It's that or the barbed wire.
Oh no.
So, Ayla, you are indeed taken across town. You have a sizable contingent of guards who are keeping anyone away from the two of you because obviously everyone's very curious, but they don't want to get them sick. So you
Yeah,
are
I assume I was also given like a fancy mask.
you are given a heavy duty mask, to say the least of it, to make sure you don't get anyone sick. And you make your way down to the mines. And the mines are different than the last time you saw them. They're not mining currently. Well, they're not in this mine shaft anyway. This one is being converted into sort of a temporary quarters, I guess. There's rooms in here now, and they're trying to use this as a place where they can bring someone up, treat them, have a doctor treat them, and then take them back down. But as you enter into these mines, they lead you down a series of tunnels, and then you enter into a room where there are 7 people currently. All 7 of them have a whip that looks very similar to yours. Each of them crackles with lightning. Each of them looks like this person with the very pallid skin and large pupils. Yet they all look at you curiously as you enter. You certainly, if we're going to line you all up, one of these things is not like the others. But
My life anywhere, really.
you see a couple of
You're
them
not
cross
an albino.
a couple of them cross their arms, and a few of them just seem curious. And as they speak again, it's very broken. But there is one there who seems to speak it a little better. As you see this woman, she actually does still have some hair, not very much. It's short and cut off to the side, but it looks like it was probably cut with a dagger. Her eyes, they have these very thin irises, and hers are red. And she approaches you, looks up at you. Did you kill someone for that weapon?
No, she'll just kind of go over the story of how it like called to her. She found it because I vaguely remember at this point.
I'm gonna say you found it down in that mine shaft.
She did.
Yeah, but it like specifically called to Ayla.
Yeah.
Our
And if I remember, you also got a vision with it when you touched it.
I think that was when I died in Gus.
Maybe.
Our first generation, when they died, many who didn't make it down, their blood crystallized by the great fire. They call to their ancestors, or to their descendants. One of yours was caught in that fire. That is the only reason the lightning lash will react to you. In our order, those who the lash speaks to, we train to be those who fight the children of Ket. But you know what it is to use your blood, don't you?
Been using it longer than I've had the whip.
she walks you over towards there's a small like bath area. There's basically like a spring that's there. And she looks at you. Take your shirt off.
All right. She'll take it off.
As you do, she motions for you to sit in a chair. And then pulls a tray up that has a bunch of needles on it. Is there an animal which speaks to you?
Ooh, for Ayla, that... I mean, she has, like, crow wings, so probably go with that.
She nods. The crow. Black as night, once beautiful, but cursed. Fitting. She brings out a bowl with some ink in it, and you watch as she takes a dagger out and cuts her hand and bleeds into the bowl.
That doesn't sound sanitary.
And then starts using that bloody ink to tattoo a crow onto your back shoulder. It hurts. I mean, it's getting a tattoo. It's not any fun. And you have a feeling that the blood being what it is going to probably... You're probably going to have an allergic reaction of some kind.
Oh.
It's not going to be great.
Is that sterile?
This sounds
No,
very
it's
dangerous
you-
very
not.
fast.
You don't think it's sterile down here, no.
Oh, God. Okay.
But they do. Over the course of probably about an hour, they tattoo
Get
this
yourself
crow
down
onto
to
your
the
back.
flea clinic and get some penicillin.
And then they pull back and look at it and nod. When an order of Crimson Sand draws forth their weapon, they are granted their first tattoo. Their second upon killing a child of Ket. This one will serve you well until such time as you prove yourself worthy of another. And Kara, when in dark or dim light, you may cast the lesser invisibility spell without expending a spell slot.
Oh. Fancy.
Blend into the shadows.
Mhm.
How appropriately edgy.
She nods. You're going to want to get a poultice on that.
I'm sure our healer is probably already making one.
They nod. Best of luck, sister in arms.
Thanks.
Meanwhile, back in the city hall,
And that would conclude my observation of Marco. I do feel for his plight. That said, to the meat of the business, as it were, we were wondering if you had a moment of your time, or resources really, to spare with the upcoming war this coming spring.
she raises an eyebrow. Do I look like I have a lot of spare resources or people?
No, notably not. But I figured a Whisper in Silence would be interested in knowing that we will be embarking a campaign against a dread demon. Notably one who is making a mockery of the ivory dragonborn of Mothership.
Which?
The Dawn Scale.
the name, boy.
Dracana. Dragon, really. But recently we learned her true name was Dracana.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard about it when, after they all had their little dream together.
Yeah, that would explain why Mum disappeared for a period of time. She was trying to make good on her promise.
My mom was conflicted about it too. She felt responsible in some ways, even though that's silliness. But it wasn't Uruk that wielded Insidia originally. She thought it was the responsibility of our people to help.
I'm not asking for what you don't have. Just if the call comes, would you be willing to answer it?
Yes, we understand you certainly have your own business that you're dealing with.
But if you know anyone that would be motivated to fight, we could use that.
I can put out a call for volunteers.
Well, thank you.
But I know you'll
Yeah.
have two.
Two.
Saria and I will go.
Doesn't Aunt Saria have her hands full with the logistics of the Reformation?
This is a unfinished loose end from our mother. We're going to want to take care of it.
Oh, one other thing I feel I should mention. The expectations of what you will be fighting and who you will be fighting.
Boy,
Yes, ma'am.
I journeyed decades into the future and fought 5 corrupted goddesses, battled my way up a crystal tree, and then fought my way through time to kill Scala.
I'm sorry, what?
There's not much you could show me.
What's this
Well,
about time?
I'll explain later.
What?
Well,
Of all the stories you could have told about the Whispers, you failed to mention the time travel.
Yeah,
We don't.
I hadn't heard this one either.
well, this was new considering the fact that I just read it from my mother's fucking. And he stops. He puts a finger up, puts a gold coin in a purse. Apologies, something for that. In her journal that I learned. This was not a story that she shared or didn't really want to share. I don't know. But yes, I'm aware of said.
We only shared the truth of our travels with a few individuals whose futures we wanted to change. Rialta's husband being one of them.
Or
So this is complicated.
I can only
Saria and I will
imagine.
be there, and we'll bring whoever volunteers with us.
Thank you. That's all we can really ask of you, and it is appreciated.
She nods.
Also, the thing that you ought to temper your expectations with is a part of the Dawn Scales army are prototypes of mass-produced dread demons. So just pass that on. This is
They look weirdly unfazed.
And
Huh.
I wish I was this.
I gotta kill
Calm and
freaky
collected.
shit again.
no. This is normal.
About
for
time.
everyone.
I've felt worse.
Oh God. Oh goodness.
I did meet one of your mums, so this explains a lot.
I'm gonna go ahead and assume O'Dial, since Jesse was dead long before.
Yes. She's I think she's doing okay.
If you don't know, she's fine. Trust me, when she's not doing well, she lets you know.
She was
Very well.
very helpful to us.
She nods. Jessie was a complicated woman. O'Dial was less so. They were both good people in their own way. I'll arrange for an airship to take you up to meet your Glorianda.
Well, thank you. That is.
I presume that's where you're heading next if you're on a little recruitment drive.
In all honesty, I don't know that we had settled on an exact route. So, if
we're
you're
going-
willing to do that, we certainly will.
We're going to next.
if it's all well and good, would we be able to peruse your teleportation circle? As much as I would love to take you up on your offer, there is one other matter I need to address before making the trip to meet your Glorianda.
Where do you need to go?
Back to Mother's Jail.
It's available to you.
What are
We
you
have-
doing in Mother's Jail?
I need to take 2 people with me.
Which two on our trip? Which 2 people?
Oh, you need to grab Shizu and
Ryan.
Orion. Makes sense.
Understood.
If I'm to make my plea to the prioress, I feel they are indispensable to our cause.
Then why don't you go on ahead?
That makes sense.
She motions. Go ahead. You can grab them and I'll have them meet you there.
See you soon.
And he gives you all a thumbs up. Pauses for a moment. Looks at Fala. For what it's worth, I am glad to be able to see you again, Aunt Fala.
Likewise. Boy.
He smirks. Coming from you, that is that's warm-hearted, actually.
She looks to the rest of you. Well, I wish I had more to offer.
We understand. We know what we are asking for is quite a lot, but if nothing else, then well, we have to spark some sort of call to action.
Well, there's a tavern just across the street. Feel free, if you tell them that you're my guests, they'll take care of you.
Thank
Very
you
good.
for that as well.
I'll send Ayla over when she returns.
Yes, do you know what they are doing with her?
Nope.
I'm sure there is nothing wrong, and she will come out hale and whole.
Sure.
Maybe Layla just be ready
and
with
it-
some of the healing hands.
Of course.
Well, yes. I realized I did this, and I went, yeah, we're just gonna go with that.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Just gonna go with it.
Yeah, those are
Move
healing
along.
hands.
That is specifically Brayley's healing hands.
Exactly. Yeah.
So the three of you head over across the street to the Whisper on the Wind and are able to find a table. You let them know that you're guests of Falah, and the tavern keeper, tiefling man in his late 50s, nods to you. Ah, well, always good to have friends of Falah's in here. She has done great things for this city.
Yes, we have heard much of her exploits. It seems there's been quite a stir lately.
Oh, well, there is always one thing or another in Caldanesh. That is true enough.
How long have you been here?
I have been here now since near the beginning of the reclamation project. I joined, I think, in its third year.
Very interesting.
Yes.
Brayley's stomach growls, and you all can hear it. Meat, what kind?
She requires the meat. All the meat.
Will fish suffice?
No.
Ooh.
We don't play by Lent rules here.
He looks out at the vast desert that this
I-
entire island is.
Oh, no.
My dear, I don't think they have cows. Right,
Well,
we'll start with the fish.
we might have some jackrabbit.
Yeah. Do I have to catch my own? You have
No.
it here?
Yeah, we probably have one or two. We'll just have to
Just
prepare
one or
them.
two.
We'll start out with some fish and see where it goes.
Okay.
You're going to be all right, I promise.
He nods.
Jackrabbit. That's much smaller than a cow.
I know, but there are not many cows here.
I'd say there's no cows here. They have no grass to graze
There
on
is
this
no
continent.
There is no agriculture system at the moment while they
No
are
camel, no sand beasties, or...
They have camel. You don't
Not
usually
for
eat them.
eating.
Yeah, they use those camels.
Be like killing a horse. We could go see if the children of the cat are tasty. That was a joke. We are not going down underground to kill worms.
You are all brought a large plate of grilled swordfish.
There we go. Very meaty.
This
like a
is the
steak.
closest one to like
Steak.
a beef that I could think of.
That's true. It's very meaty. It's like a big.
If you haven't
old-
had swordfish steak, it's so good.
It's like a big old fish steak. It's very meaty.
Does that satisfy Brayley's?
Yep.
Alright.
I mean, you'd prefer that it was alive still, but
Yeah.
you know,
You take what you can get.
yeah, yeah. You're the wolf inside is like, "Ugh, I want to chase it.
I want to chase it, but I guess sashimi's fine.
Yeah. Brayley wolfs out on the food.
Yep.
Nom 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 nom.
Ears popped, abs out. Just downing it.
Pat on her shoulder.
I'll have the fish, thank you very much.
Whatever is available. I am not picky. Well, I suppose we're very successful in Stone's Throw, and well, I'm not sure if we really expected too much,
Alcana doesn't have much of a population to speak of.
but word is out, and Mitra Glorianda will be, I think, the most imperative.
Yes. Yes, that'll. Poor Romeo.
You will figure out one way or another. It is blood and galling, so to speak.
So we came to get help with one war and find out there's a whole other one happening.
I know. Same with Mitra Goriander. Seems the whole world is at its own wars. Perhaps this is
I'm
why,
gonna- Perhaps we should have them all stand in a line and take a number.
that would be nice. It does make me wonder if that is almost by design. Perhaps Dragon chose to strike now because it would be harder to get such reinforcements.
I mean, well, it makes sense. That would require knowing about these other wars, wouldn't it?
Do demons not have? I don't know. I suppose I just assume demons have knowledge of things, but maybe I'm putting too much stock in the power of demons. I've never really met one.
Well, it's more along the lines of just having that wide of a vision for the events of the world would be kind of alarming in our enemy.
I suppose it is true, but this enemy has also been around for, what, since the beginning of time?
Shortly after.
Shortly after the
relatively
beginning of time.
speaking.
That's in the beginning of time that is relevant to you all.
Exactly. So I don't know. I don't know. I think I am just used to seeing things as big, impossible mountains. I'm not sure if you will find the top, but you have to keep climbing anyway.
Of course, it's just what I'm saying is it calls to mind the question of what other knowledge would she have that we don't?
So that is fair.
I'm not considering stopping or anything, just a proper awareness.
Awareness is definitely warranted. Anyway, who wants a drink?
I do. Another one.
You are all able to get the spirit of choice on Alcana, and there really is only one spirit that they can grow and make here, and that is tequila.
Hell yeah.
Nova's
Ba-na-ba-na-na-na-da-da.
Nova's not trying to get drunk, they just want a drink, so I'm sure it'll be some kind of a mixed tequila sipping thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not going crazy.
There can be body shots.
Body shots sound nice, but we also have to be somewhat sober tomorrow, so
Let's save that for a proper special occasion when we're all here.
exactly.
When there's more meat.
Mr. Loriander might be better with that. I hope.
Gonna have to take Brayley to a Brazilian steakhouse.
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
Yo, that shit is the bomb.
Oh,
Yep.
Sarah,
Yeah,
Brazilian steakhouse.
not right now. We need
We're
to
playing
save.
a game.
We need to save money.
Also, yes.
We had to pay taxes.
The honey cheese.
Anyway, Ayla, what would you say your demeanor is as you're walking back, dealing with this?
Fairly neutral, probably. Like, she's, like, kind of thinking over things, a little confused, but, like, she's definitely been in worse pain, and, like, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. On your way back, as you're exiting out of the mining district and making your way back into town, you can see there is a large section of the city that is still being built here. There's a poster on the wall, a large poster that suggests that this is going to be an entertainment district of some kind when it's finished. But you can tell it's a long ways off. They're doing some basic infrastructure and housing here right now, but in the far distance, you can see a large, like cordoned off area that looks like eventually it's going to be like a stadium that they're going to build here. And as you're kind of like looking at it and walking, you run into somebody who stumbles and falls to the ground, spilling out an entire handful. Like she's got like 2 buckets of nails, and they spill everywhere.
Damn.
And they kind of grit their head. Would you watch where you're? And you are looking at your mom.
I think Ayla is like, she knew in theory her mom was on the continent, and there's not a lot of it that's inhabitable.
There's very little, I would say.
But like, in theory versus literally running into her is very different. So I feel like she just freezes.
She kind of scrambles back up to her feet, trying not to step on a nail as she does. Well, that's unexpected.
You know, I could say the same.
Hi, Ayla. Well, I guess you must have went home, or this really is just dumb luck.
Little column A, little column B. I was in Stone Throw, but I was coming here after anyways.
Okay. What? You're wearing a officer's uniform. Are you in the army?
Yeah, it's kind of a long story, but I ended up a commander in an army.
A commander? Wow. That's amazing.
Definitely not where I expected my life to go at any point, but here we are.
Yeah. Have you heard from your sister?
Did we bring her here with us? I know she was with us in Stone's Throw.
No, she's not here right now.
She's back on Mother's Jail.
She lives.
Was touch and go for a minute, but yeah.
What happened?
She signed up to be a mercenary on the shit side of a war.
There's no
And
good side of a war.
They hunted her with experiments.
She kind of like fidgets a little bit, but tries to hold it together. Okay. Well, I'm glad she's okay. And I'm glad you're okay.
I feel like there's a lot of ways Ayla saw this going, and this is none of them.
Same for your mom. You see her kind of like absently like lean down and start putting nails back into the buckets and picking them up.
And I maybe do some tattoo bullshit with my lightning charges.
What would you like to do?
And I kind of yank them together, like, basically like a magnet.
You want to static shock these things back up?
I mean, kind of, but like,
The TV
at least
show
pull them
Static Shock,
into a pile.
like the superhero.
Can she electromagnetic them somehow?
Yeah, I'll say you can do that. So she watches you do that and kind of blinks. You haven't always been able to do that.
Yeah, no, even for me, that's pretty new. Turns out, if you stab an ancient dragon in the brain, or an ancient blue dragon in the brain, you get all of its lightning.
You see a tear slide down her cheek. So, Titania's prophecy came true then.
Titania's what?
When you were born, and she called you Ayla Stormborn, she said you would one day hold a lightning bolt in your chest.
This is, as far as I know, completely new information.
You've never heard this from your mom before?
Titania, she said?
Mm-hmm.
Who's Titania?
Well, we know her in Final Court as the Queen of the Court of Dawn. And also the one who has on multiple occasions helped people avert the Final Court.
But we don't know any of that here.
No.
Okay.
I think Ayla just... Here, I thought I came up with that name on my own.
It's like a week after you'd been born when she visited us. She said you were going to be a hero and that you were going to stop the Final Court, whatever the fuck that means. She said that you had been born amongst the storms, and to the storms you would return, and you would hold a lightning bolt in your chest, and that you would help deliver Mother's Jail from the end.
Well, that is actually the gist of what they're trying to do.
We did everything in our power to try and keep you away from that future. We pushed you right into it instead.
Not to be obnoxious about it, but, like, isn't that what happened in every fantasy book that you, like, read me as a child?
Yeah. Apparently. We were no better. Are you happy?
Yeah, I am.
And that's enough.
Look, this isn't how I expected this to go at all. I expected a lot more yelling from both of us. You know how things used to go, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
And can't believe the words are leaving my mouth. Would you want to grab a drink? Maybe tell me how you ended up here instead of in what's left of that house?
She closes her eyes at that. We tried to stop that prophecy from coming true. The more we pushed, the more you pushed back, and so the harder we pushed. And one day we Maybe we lost sight of what we were trying to do. But one day we woke up and realized that both our children had run away. And suddenly all the money in the world didn't really mean anything. I couldn't look at Deimos anymore, and he couldn't look at me. So we just left. Went our separate ways. Last I heard, he was going to Restarth, and I didn't know what else to do with my life. I hadn't really done anything except be an accountant before, so I volunteered with the Alcana Reclamation Project, and here I am.
Well, I have. It's a long story. Should we start walking? And she'll, like, start off the story if she goes with her.
She kind of frowns as she looks at you. I was horrible to you. We were horrible to you. We valued your safety over your happiness, including doing we set you up to marry someone who would treat you like a trophy. But they would protect that trophy. You don't owe me anything. Nor your father.
I mean, you're right. I don't. It. There. As much as we want to deny it, is every. And she'll kind of look at her glowing scars. Every possibility I'm on a ticking clock. So. Maybe I'm bigger on second chances now than I was before.
Part of Titania's prophecy was that you'd give your life for this cause.
Well, I have a couple partners I'm pretty sure would find Boss and shank him to get my soul back, so.
A couple of partners?
I said it's a long story, didn't I?
All right. And she goes and drops the nails off and says she has an emergency that came up and she needs to talk this out. So she accompanies you back to the Whisper on the Wind, where the four of you now get to meet Ayla's mother. As you see Ayla return, accompanied by a tiefling woman, slightly older. She was once a noble, but her skin is now quite weathered in the sandy heat of Alcana. Her hair is a little bit frizzled, and but she's got it pulled back tightly. And she makes her way over with Ayla, looking nervously at you all.
I look up, I glance at Ayla. Although, I think only Brayley saw an image of her, right?
Yes, Brayley, you recognize this woman. This is Ayla's mother, who I think
Oh,
name is.
hi. And Brayley will look directly at her. It's nice to meet you.
Hello.
Howdy.
This is the mama.
Oh, I see. I'm
going to
Nova
introduce her
Ace.
for-
Oh,
Oh,
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
Go ahead. Why don't you do that
Well,
first?
she was just gonna go down the line of like everyone here.
And you must be Ayla's girlfriends?
2 of us. Not this one yet. I'm joking.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
That can't compete with the pirate captain, apparently.
Pirate captain?
I mean, to be fair, who knows what the future may hold?
Okay. Wow.
We've had an interesting journey together already. It wouldn't be that unheard of.
You know, you
I
don't
did
need...
say it was a long story.
When you have
Yeah.
done war and held together, well, you come back broken or...
Regardless, I'm just as pleased to meet you as they are. Probably more so.
Yeah, I imagine Ayla hasn't exactly talked me up.
Eh,
Rightfully so.
Well,
Well, if you ever make it home, you have a new statue in your front yard. I hope you enjoy it.
Oh, well, we kind of abandoned the home.
Well,
It's a shame because it's a great statue.
it's there for the neighborhood.
Okay.
would you like to sit down, Miss, I don't know her last name.
It was at one point Silverwind, but I don't know if she changed it.
Yes.
Would you like to
So she doesn't really go by that anymore.
sit down, Miss Silverwind?
It's just Crosta, thank you.
Krasta, would you like a seat?
Yes.
Here you go.
She sits down.
They bow and pull the chair over for her.
She glances over at the 6-foot-tall werewolf girl.
Hi. We're doing the tequila.
I'm going to tell you that Ayla has always had a type, and this makes sense.
Oh, I don't know whether to be offended or not. As I help push her forward in the chair.
I mean, if you stack us all on top of each other, we make one big lady.
That is true. Giant woman.
Yep.
Wow. So... Okay, so you're dating 2 girls. Wow.
Oh, did you not tell her about Asuka?
Yeah. I was about to say 3, actually. I didn't give her a number, to be fair.
I will order her
3.
one of those tequila shots.
Somewhere Violet weeps because she's been forgotten again.
Oh no!
Well, I was gonna say
Oh,
3
shit.
and a
Was Violet
Uh,
official?
situationship.
Some
Yeah, I
coming
think
out,
Violet's a
you know?
situationship.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Violet's more of like a situationship. Yeah.
We haven't forgotten her.
Well, you know, I guess in hindsight, trying to set you up with a man was a real bad call. Granted, we never really talked about your romantic leanings.
Having come back from the bar with that tequila shot. Here, you'll want this.
It disappears so fast.
Slams it on the desk. Chair on the table.
Okay. So so you're like all part of the prophecy then?
Is it prophecy?
Yeah,
Oh.
apparently there was one made when I was born that I found out about.
You had a prophecy
long-
made of you?
Apparently, I only found out like 10 minutes ago.
What is with all of you having special things anyway? I don't know this prophecy. I'm afraid I am as ordinary comes.
She looks you over. That sword
Yeah,
says
bullshit.
otherwise.
All right, well,
That's hardly true.
all right. Well, what I'm trying to say is there is no prophecy associated with me. I don't
Also,
have
your
any-
hair is silver.
All right. Well, that was because of a choice I made that sort of now is in my blood forever, apparently.
Oh yes,
Mhm.
very
Are
plain.
we-
I'm not saying
It's
I'm
very
plain. I'm
plain,
saying I don't
first
have a
of her
prophecy.
species.
All right, I didn't. Okay, my point is I don't have a prophecy named after me. What's his prophecy now?
Right.
We can write one.
No,
So-
you're sweet.
So, shortly after Ayla was born, we were visited by the queen of the Fae Court.
Is the queen of what now?
Yeah, that's what we said.
Is this a Fae court?
Oh, they live in the Fae Forest.
Oh, wait, the Fae court lives in the Fae forest. What is the Fae forest?
It's
Where's the god grass?
you. Oh yeah, sorry, you're not from Terrason. It's on Terrason. It's a thing there.
All right.
Um, supposedly the elves and the gods' grasp at one time became one with the trees and then became the Fae folk. It was a whole thing. I don't know.
Don't think about it too hard. It gets weird if you try.
But the queen of them appeared after Ayla was born and said that one day she would help stop the final court and that she would carry a thunderbolt in her chest.
Well, I mean, did you tell her about the lightning?
It's hard to miss.
All right, just wasn't sure. That wasn't sure how much you had heard. Final court. What the fuck is that?
I have no
No
idea.
idea.
Oh, that's great.
She seemed to think it was the end of the world, though.
The end of the world. I mean, we are trying to prevent a sort of end of the world, but it has nothing to do with Fae, as far as I know. It has to do with dragon.
Hey, I didn't recite the prophecy. I just heard it.
You know,
Sounds very final.
it sounds like many things are weaving together in ways that I'm not sure if it really matters if it means the end of the world. So cool.
Well, look, I don't have any right to ask anyone anything, but I need you three, to promise me that you'll get Ayla back safely.
Yeah, that may have been part of the prophecy, actually.
What do you mean was part of the prophecy?
Titania said that Ayla would give her life to save the world.
Oh, good. Good. Why
Actually-
can't... What is that?
I did technically die when we fought Gus for
Yeah,
a very
yeah.
brief amount of time.
So you kind of did already. And you're still here.
Convenient.
Don't know if
that.
I'll get that lucky again.
Why can't prophecies end with something nice, like, and then they will live happily ever after with sex on the beach?
She
Yeah.
looks at you.
That is the goal, to be fair.
I'm just saying. But,
You're in
Well,
the sky.
no, and this guy on the beach. Listen,
Or in the Temple of Lucky.
Ayla, watch it with the heresy.
we know a priest of Lucky.
Very
She said it was
lucky
fine.
they know that it was a great idea, actually.
What?
Then again, I think Yuki has technically been excommunicated, so...
I know, but isn't she like...
Yukiko Sunveil?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that one.
That one.
She was excommunicated for speaking blasphemy.
But she wasn't completely wrong, as it turned out. She had predicted the whole war that we are in. Anyway,
Can I have some more tequila, please?
I'm
bring
on
the
it.
lady more tequila, please. She is having
Going
a
to just
crisis
get
of
bottle
faith.
At this point.
She just takes the whole bottle and just starts drinking it like water.
Oh boy. Miss. We have no intentions of leaving any of us behind. And that includes your daughter.
Thank
She
you.
is one of the ones that I'm fairly certain would shank boss for my soul, so...
It would be fun. I've never done it before. It could be fun.
You've never shanked God? Yeah, probably not. I wouldn't think so.
No, the closest I've done is stare into his eyes as he teleported me somewhere.
Layla, this poor woman looks so out of her depth right now.
Yeah,
This is a woman
I just
who,
get-
before recently, had barely ever left Stone's Throw, and now, like, she's making ends meet, trying to, like, find her, like, born-again Christian life here, and she is just... This is a lot.
Polyamory!
Yeah, no, Layla has basically just been in the background, just sort of like basically filling in a very specific shift as waitress for this table.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like Ayla like stops like I mean I got the fight oh wait, that was before she sparked. Damn it.
What do you mean before she sparked?
I maybe got to fight Caldana, although it was admittedly her with her fist and me with a sword, but
Caldana Aristotter?
Yes.
yeah, that one.
You fought a whisper in silence. Okay.
We've all
Yeah,
met
and
some,
now-
actually.
Yeah, now she's a demigod.
You have some things of hers,
And-
don't you?
Well, I mean, she kind of basically if something claims it can't die, it's my job to kill it. So
And I handle the change.
She means metaphorically.
Oh.
I'm not sure if she carries a purse.
Oh.
No,
she,
Ramran has.
So
that's
she
not
looks-
Gail with the first person.
she looks so disappointed because she was an accountant in life and she finally felt she had like a kindred spirit here.
Oh.
She's like, oh God, someone who understands.
Hey, I understand that sentence.
Yeah.
Actually-
it makes sense to me.
Ramran
No, if you want
puts it
to
in his,
understand what's going on here, Varys chose her.
That's
We all
scans.
have a little. We all have something. We gotta do.
Okay.
So, how are you enjoying your work here?
It's hot, but
hmm
fulfilling.
That's good.
Yeah, no, I helped mount a door the other day.
Oh,
Yeah. We're trying to work out a sewer system here. It's a lot of digging. Not exactly,
No gods or goddesses or anything of the like.
oh, not here, no. There's not
It
really
wasn't-
enough.
It wasn't
there
the
is Fallout.
foretold of chosen door.
No, here it's just us usually. There's not really enough people to spark someone here.
fair enough. But it's
I think
good
Ayla
you
just
are-
looks at the rest of the table like, does she not know about Falah?
Clearly not.
Is that the sort
I mean, she knows who Flaw is. She works for her, but she knows she's a Whisper
Doesn't
Silence.
know
She
the
might not know she's
details
yeah.
of her situation.
Yeah, she does not know the details of like everything the Whispers did. Absolutely not.
Well,
Oh, I meant more with the being a demigod thing.
Oh, well, Flaw, I think, is probably the least open of all of them about it.
yeah, that makes sense.
Flaw uses her demigod powers to establish a secret church of assassins, I'll have you know.
I was gonna say her demigod status
Yeah.
means she's Batman. Is how I look at it.
True.
Yeah, Flaw creates the,
Badass.
what are they called? Is it the Black Blade Fighters is what she creates. A order of fighters who use a special toxin that nulls or that destroys their nerve endings so that they don't feel pain.
That's fucking metal.
Yeah, they all become fucking juggernauts, and basically they get a or like a trance-like state where they can just block out pain and aren't affected by it. And so they were basically inspired by like Michael Myers, where it's like you can shoot him however many times you want, he just keeps walking until he gets to you. Yeah, they have a trance of the Viper Lily. Through practice meditation, you have learned to heighten the effect of the Viper Lily poison, blocking out pain for a time. Afterwards, the pain catches up to you. As a bonus action, you can enter a meditative trance for 10 minutes. During this trance, you gain the following benefits. Whenever you take damage, you reduce the damage taken by your Constitution modifier. You have advantage on dexterity stealth checks. The first time you are reduced to 0 hit points during this trance, you are instead reduced to 1 hit point. Whenever you take damage, you may instead take no damage and suffer a level of exhaustion.
A pain hangover.
Yep. But they're pretty badass. Coming soon in the Serene campaign setting book. Anyway.
Hell yeah.
So you all talk for a while, and she hears your
We
stories.
try at least.
She is shocked. She hears them, enthralled. It's amazing to hear your child is capable of these things. And there's also
It's
a lot of
amazing to hear these things. Just
yeah,
flat.
in general. And there's also a lot of sorrow on her face. A lot of guilt. Meanwhile, Ramiel, it's easy enough. You take the teleportation circle back to Mother's Jail and gather up both Orion and Shizu. And with that, ask to be sent instead to Mitra Glorianda. Teleporting onto Mitra Glorianda is a slightly different experience, as, well, usually when people teleport onto Mitra Glorianda, it's an invasion. So there's definitely a bit of a commotion as the teleportation circle inside the Prioress's palace activates and people appear on it. But the guards who hurry over, weapons drawn, see you and see Shizu. And then some schmuck who's with you. And they stare.
Roughly what time is it?
It's probably midday. As one of them just looks. Princess Shizu. Prince Ramiel. They look at each other in disbelief.
Apologies. We should have announced our arrival. But I'm afraid this is a matter of urgency. May we see the prioress?
They look at each other. She doesn't usually like to be disturbed during it. It's fine. I think for her siblings, it'll be fine. Please, come with us. And these two armored knights lead you out. You make your way out the castle. You descend down these large back steps, and quickly you get onto one of the flying skiffs from before, which takes you to another section of the city. And as you land, the sight before you is equal parts saddening and awe-inspiring, because the skiff lands at the entrance to a cemetery. And this cemetery has tens, if not hundreds of thousands of graves in it. Each of them exactly identical to the one that came before it, save for maybe a name scrawled on it, some of them just initials. Many of them have nothing on them. And as you are led into this expansive cemetery, you see that sitting in her wheelchair, about 100 feet ahead of you, you see Prioress Vicenzia, who turns and listens to her aide and then looks to you all, and her eyes widen as she sees Shizu. It's impossible. Shizu fidgets her hands. As it turns out, just improbable, sister. She wheels forward and looks to the two of you. Welcome. Welcome home. I'm sorry I did not know that you were coming.
No, it's perfectly fine. Would you mind if we accompany you?
Oh, yes, of course. I try to visit once a week and pay my respects. Well, Shizu, you probably recognize this place, though Ramiel, I think you would have been too young. This is the cemetery dedicated to the war with the Devilkin. Everyone who has ever died is buried here, or they have a grave, at least in their honor. Many had to be burned.
And Ramiel will look out into the distance on all the graves.
It's incredible to see the utterly staggering loss of life that has happened here. There are more graves here than even around Moon Bay.
You've lost a lot.
Oh. This war has gone on for centuries. Many have died in the defense of Serene.
Whereas its people are none the wiser.
It was us who first contacted the Devilkin. They are our curse to bear.
Well, half a year ago, I didn't even think that Mitra Glorianda well and truly existed.
Well, that is a state that we have worked hard to maintain. Less people come looking for us.
Well, you'd be glad to know that our mother perpetuated that. She used to tell me of this ancient homeland of a paradise, really, for elves. High above the clouds.
She would. She looks at Shizu. How? How is this possible? And Shizu glances down. When Drahana came, her armies slew everyone. She cursed Father, infected him, and then left me alive so I could watch. Why didn't you come back? Because I failed. I didn't deserve to. You were always a better leader than me. And Vicenzia reaches up and smacks her across the face. Well, how well and good for you. I could have used the help. And I would have liked to see my sister again. She hugs her.
Ramiel steps back and stands next to Ryan. Give them a moment.
You feel Orion put a hand on your shoulder. After a moment, they do separate, and they nod and look at you. Well, Prince Indigo, you have reunited a family torn.
Well, all in a day's work, I suppose. Can't have my blood family be in tatters.
Indeed. What can I do for you, Romeo?
About that, if you don't mind, I'd like to wait until my friends arrive to address that. But um, I would ask that I had a whole speech for this and everything, and he kind of like shuffles around in his bag. Shoot, where did I put? Fuck it. And he walks over and gets down on one knee and bows his head in front of Vicencio. To the most esteemed Prioress Vicencio Lockhart, I come before you offering my deepest and most humble apologies for a most inelegant display of rather uncouth behavior on our previous meeting. It was improper, um, quite rude of me, and if this will sound as an excuse, I was in a state of anger and shock, and I didn't really have any way to process that outside of venting it to the next unfortunate person I would speak to, which happened to be you, and I'm sorry.
I really hope you didn't come all this way just to say that.
Partly, but I mean,
She's smiling at you.
look, I know I can get rather long-winded with my words, but I did want to express how deeply I regretted how I acted last time. Before meeting you, I thought all of my family was lost, and I was fortunate enough that the family that found me taught me the joys of what it was like.
Romeo, you're forgiven. And I'm sorry too. When I heard about you, I thought there was someone masquerading as my dead brother. And I was furious.
Understandably so.
She looks at Shizu. You say Jirkhana brought an army to our father's doorstep? She nods. Yes. We were overwhelmed. And she placed an infectious curse upon him. And he rotted away in front of my eyes. Sensi gets a very different look on her face, one you haven't seen before. Drahana, you have made yourself a very powerful enemy today. She looks at one of the guards. What forces do we have that we can spare? And the guard blinks. My lady, we're at war. Our forces are spread thin. We have nothing to spare. And she turns a little and looks at him. My sister and brother are fighting a war down there. I will not hear that we have nothing to show for it. We were not there when Scala returned. We are not going to miss this one. Am I quite understood? And he nods. Certainly no legions, but we could perhaps muster a couple of contingents. And she nods. Good. Do exactly that. And
If
she
I
looks.
might,
Sorry, go ahead.
if I might interject, I don't know if this will help bolster your ability to convince people, but you could invoke the pact between Azure and the Lark's Huts.
She looks at him. The elves in the north of Mitra Glorianda, where father and mother met. They will be likely to answer that pact. Go. Gather as many of them as you can. Tell them that they're going to Mother's Jail. By order of their queen. She looks at Shizu. And you. I will not hear that you failed. I will not hear that you thought you deserved to sit on that island. You abandoned your duty these last 20 years. And you will make up for it now. You are going to lead that contingent. And I had better hear that you come back with a valorous deed under your belt. Shizu stiffens. You would waste more lives under my... Shut up. I'm not wasting anything. Father saw in you a great leader, a great military mind. That's why he took you. Stop spitting on his memory and be the person you were supposed to be. You can cry about it later. Shizu kind of blinks. Yes, my prioress.
She sure told you, huh?
Shizu glares at you. Vicentia
Hey.
nods.
I'm not the one out here.
Look, we all got
Speaking-
something from Mother. I may have gotten her ability to talk someone down if I need to.
You should hear her. When we found her, she would not hear from me about how I wanted to learn about our family. Was rather adamant about Azure Skin having a legacy of broken and failed people, and well, I'm glad to know I'm not the only one who thinks that doesn't have to be the end. I refuse for that to be the end.
Ramiel, when are you going to introduce me to this incredibly handsome man?
Well, I was waiting for a good moment, and would you care to join us, darling?
Ryan approaches. Ma'am, Your Majesty, we don't do that here. Oh, sorry. My name's Orion. Ramiel's Bo. I see. And are you aware that you're dating a prince? Yes, ma'am. Well,
No, he does not make me forget.
you worry not. I remind him that he's a prince in my eyes every day.
Aw.
She raises an eyebrow.
God, he's dumb as rocks.
Love them.
I
Beautiful.
see. You are Dia Asenil, what they say to be the more intelligent of the elves. He nods. Well, my mama always said that I was the exception that proved the rule.
Oh, jeez.
I think it was her way of saying I was exceptional.
This poor himbo.
I see. Well, normally I think it would be quite inappropriate for Ramiel to date a, pardon me by saying, commoner.
Wow.
But I get the sense that there is very little that is common about you, Sir Orion. Oh, no, it's just Orion. I don't got none of them fancy nobilities or stuff. She winces. Subtlety, right. Not exactly your strong suit. Got it. Let me try this another way. I name thee Sir Orion. I bestow upon thee a nobility that you might be able to date a noble.
Is that something you can do?
You have no idea. You did not come from here, and she's betting that nobody else knows either.
Hmm.
She knows that Orion certainly doesn't know whether that's a thing or not.
Mm-hmm.
But typically speaking, yes, a monarch would be allowed to name a knight and to make them a noble. You could raise someone like that. Oh. Well, he kind of like strikes a more elegant pose. Sir Orion. A knight. I kind of like the sound of that. Yes, well, unfortunately, an onion knight for the moment. No, ma'am. I save my onions for cooking.
Ramiel just nods.
Oh, sweet
Beautiful.
baby.
It means that you're not a landed knight. No, ma'am. We landed here just fine.
Oh god. Oh boy.
You can see why I wanted to address this when my companions course here. Actually, that would make is that something that you can do? You can just bestow titles to people.
I am the prioress, our monarch. Yes, I can bestow a title on somebody.
And they'd be recognized in official courts.
Yes, if they have a diplomatic relation with Mitra Glorianda. Why?
Well,
Is there a title you're looking to have?
not for me, but and he pulls out this very weathered looking dog-eared piece of paper. It looks like he's it's had it's been folded and unfolded quite a number of times. I have a few I would like to
Make a dexterity save.
She got fucking yank. Hold up. Dex.
She snatches it out of your hands. Her legs don't work, but her arms are quick.
Read it out for the whole class.
She looks at it. Oh, that's a good one. I like the alliteration. Okay. She signals for her other aide and quickly starts scrawling out a document and then signs it and hands it back to you. Here you are. My official proclamation.
Wonderful. I believe my my companions will be here in a day or two. They're taking the airship.
Very good. Well, Orion, it has certainly been, Sir Orion, it has been interesting meeting you. Yes, your priestess. It is fantastic to meet you as well. What?
Paris, darling.
Prior to what?
Prioress.
Prioress.
Yes.
That's what I said. Prioress. Prioress Vicensia. She smiles at him. Yes, darling. Well, I don't rightly know the way to do this. And where I come from, you're supposed to ask someone's mama and daddy, but
Oh,
well, we only get to see Melody every now and then, and she always seems to kind of vanish real quick. I'm sorry? Right. Well, you see, the thing is that we're fighting a war right now, and well, he looks around. As you can see, there's a price to war, and it's one that I'd rather not find myself on the short end of. So to that end, I was wondering if I could ask your permission to ask Ramiel to marry me.
Oh boy.
Ramia looks stunned.
Yeah, so does your sister. Well, what? A lot of people died in that last battle, and with Canis going missing and all that, I thought, you know what? Fortune favors the bold. She blinks. While I am terrified for our gene pool, I grant you my permission.
Damn.
Good news, they can't reproduce.
Wow.
Magic.
He nods. No, don't you worry about that. None. I can't swim. All right.
oh my god.
He smiles. Well then, guess there's no time like the present, and he drops down onto one knee.
Right here.
He looks around. Yeah, I guess a graveyard's not exactly appropriate, is it? In my mind, it was gonna be in the palace. I thought we'd be meeting her in like the throne room where it would be like pretty and stuff. There'd be like stained glass and all that. But you know, I'll find a better time. My bad. And he stands up and puts it back in his pocket. Look, you date a himbo. It's got pros and cons.
Nice.
It's cute as
Bro,
fuck.
the entire time Romuald actually does have like this very fond smile on his face. Very soft, very fond, and he just has eyes for Orion at the moment.
That's good, because I'm going to tell you that your sisters, one of them is just dumbfounded. The other looks very tired. Back in Caldenesh. As you're all around the table enjoying a like 7th or 8th drink, going over things. Ayla.
Recounting to your mother the full list of your sexual crimes.
Oh, God. Yeah. You hear Tashira's voice in your head. Commander, I'm sorry to cut your recruitment campaign short, but something has changed and we don't have the time that we thought. Return to base immediately. Ramiel, a moment later, you get the same message, except it says Major at the front.
Something has apparently changed. We got to go.
What do you mean we have to go?
Go.
As in, I just got sending from the general, and we apparently don't have the time we thought we did.
Oh, damn it.
Time you thought you did. What's going on?
Only so much you can fit in
Nothing-
25 words, but can't be anything
Nothing
good.
good, I suppose.
Sounds like we need a road
Considering
shot.
we still had 2 continents to go on this trip.
Wait, you're going back to battle? Now?
It seems likely.
Possible.
Look, I'm not good at much, but can I help? I can dress wounds.
It's your call, Commander.
Be hypocritical of me to say no when we need all the hands we can get.
She nods. You show me what you need done, and I'll do it.
Oh, speaking of wounds, Layla, before we go.
Yes.
So, right, that tattoo they took me underground to get for the
Say
whole.
what?
Okay, you knew about this.
You were there when they took her.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah,
I'll
they
guess.
mixed their
Yeah, I
blood
don't
with
think
the ink, so
we-
you might want to take a look at this
They did
to
what?
make sure it doesn't.
Where is it?
You went with a stranger and got a blood tattoo?
It seemed like a very important cultural thing to them.
Yes. At our first possible opportunity, I will definitely examine that. Do you at least feel okay now?
I
Feels
assume
itchy.
so. I mean,
Itchy.
it's itchy, but
Swollen and
I was
itchy. But
repeatedly
I mean,
stabbed with a needle, so.
yeah, I mean, it's a tattoo. It should feel swollen and
Alright.
itchy.
All right, nothing out of the ordinary for now. Let me know if that changes, and as soon as we get the opportunity.
To be fair, they
I
did
will.
say to put the poultice on it. I just kind of got distracted.
We can presumably say that was done
Yeah.
during the conversationing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're able to get a poultice on it easy enough.
Ma'am, you may want to pack your bags.
That's going to be real brief, but yeah, sure. And,
How are we getting out of here?
You take your teleportation circle back.
Very well. Let's just hope Ramiel was successful.
So it's not long after that when you all reconvene on Mother's Jail. There is a lot of movement in the camp, which is usually not a good sign. And there's a aura about the area. There's a lot of tension. But as you
can
return,
feel in the air something's up.
yeah,
I've been in places like that. It's no good.
you are all quickly brought back, and Ramiel and Orion return shortly after. Shizu does not return immediately. She's gathering up her new soldiers to bring back with her. But two of you are able to return. And you're all swiftly brought over to Shira's tent, where she is currently talking with a number of the other officers. And as you look in, there's someone new here that looks a little bit... Well, there's an ivory not an ivory dragonborn, sorry, a Argenti dragonborn in here. A silver-scaled Argenti woman is in here. And as you all enter, Tashira looks up. Thank you for coming back so quickly.
What is going on?
She looks over towards the Argenti. We have had new information come our way that has forced our hand. We have found out that even as we speak, our enemy is currently mobilizing an army at the Ivory Gate, and they intend to lay siege to Shipswallow. Needless to say, we cannot afford to get bogged down in a siege here, even if it means we need to travel in the winter.
So you're sending us early?
Not exactly. He glances over and nods. This is Riki of the Argenti. This woman walks over. She is dressed like a ranger. She has on kind of the long cloak, wrapped legs with climbing boots. She has a scimitar on both hips and a longbow slung over her back. She's missing an eye, and a lot of her scales have been like cut away and scarred over. This woman has definitely seen combat. And she walks over and looks at you all. Greetings. Thank you for giving me your time. My name is Riki of the Argenti, as the general said. And I have braved the trip over the mountains to reach your camp because our people are suffering. Darhana's rule of our city is cruel. Starvation and plague are run rampant. I do not believe that any of us will survive before it's over. I have come to beg your aid, but I know that you are in a war, and in theory, Argenti's dominion does not pose any strategic value. However, the high priest of Gesheron's temple has allowed me to share with you a closely guarded piece of information. There is a secret exit out the back of the temple that leads into the mountains, and there is a small pass. It goes all the way through the mountains to Ivory Solitude. I believe that is why Ivory put so much effort into taking the city. It is a small pass. You could never march an army through it. But a group of skilled individuals who want to take their shot, that might be possible.
I may be missing something. What is this Ivory Solitude?
Ivory Solitude is the capital city of the Draconic Legion.
I was gonna
If
say,
we-
can you?
Where Dragon
Can you
has
Yep,
pull
her
up-
sorry.
throne.
Bring it over to the map. Yep.
Yeah,
So-
'cause it's.
If we look at the map, sorry. Argenti's Dominion is here. She is saying that there is a pass through the mountains here that leads out into the plains by Ivory Solitude. It's very small. You couldn't march an army through it, but you could put a group through it.
I would say like 5 or so.
Maybe a few more. Who knows? But yes,
So
she is
you-
suggesting that you could, if you wanted to take a shot at Drahana, you would have an opportunity to. Of course, to
I'll-
do this, you'll have to take Argenti's dominion back. You'll have to liberate it. And that's where Tashira looks at you. We've only had time to bring about a third of our navy here. The rest of it is still at high wall, which means that it could be used to try to liberate Argenti's dominion.
Oh, look at Ramiel. I don't suppose you had any luck with airships?
Presumably, Ramia will tell you that they were able to conscript a small force with some airships, indeed.
Yep, I was muted the entire fucking
Oh,
time.
okay.
Hell yeah, classic shit.
Oh, and this is for you. Well, you regarding them. And he hands Vicenzia's proclamation to Tashira.
Shira looks it over. He nods. She nods, rather. We will cover that in a moment. We need to decide this quickly. What I am proposing is bold. But I suppose meekness never won a war. Right now, their army masses at the Ivory Gate, intent on marching on ship Swallow through the winter and laying siege, trapping us here. My intention is to take 100,000 men and leave 1,000 behind. That 1,000 will be tasked with looking like 100,000 men. I want them to lay siege and dedicate some of their forces to trying to take trying to siege a city that they could easily capture. I will march those 100,000 men across the frozen ship Swallow Bay and take Lostport. When I do this, Johanna will have no choice but to pull her armies away from Ivory Solitude to come and meet us. Theoretically, that will open a passage for you. You may be able to sneak through their lands to get to the Morning Peak.
What do we think the odds are that she knows about that pass?
I think she does know about it. That's probably why she chose to take Argenti's dominion. But if you march through the pass before she learns that she has lost it, could work, but I'm not saying it's not a risk.
Everything is going to be a risk.
I suppose what I'm actually asking is, do you think you can kill her if you get a shot?
Look at Nova.
Nova glances at their sword and glances back. We had a better shot than we did a month ago. I don't think we're going to be any better prepared, if that is what you're asking.
That's true. And don't think there's any better preparation than Prime Goddess giving you that sword.
Riki, I suppose I don't have to tell you that if this passageway isn't real, you're dooming our entire effort here. Argenti's dominion will fall again, and the rest of the world will follow it. Riki nods. I've seen the passageway. It's real. Ayla, I'm placing you in charge of liberating Argenti's dominion.
I'll get it done.
As soon as it's liberated, you take a team, you go through that pass, and you end this war once and for all.
I will.
We have 3 days before they'll have set in upon us. We have to have our army cleared out by then. So, take what you need to take the city, or to liberate Argenti's dominion, and set out for High Wall.
Let's put those new recruits to use then.
Well, then I hope Rin gave you good news.
I don't know so much about news as in city, eh?
I've heard worse things.
That's just kind of
Before I send you away, though, I have a proclamation from Vicentia. Mal, can you send me the things that you want?
fanciness.
I feel like Ayla is side-eyeing Ramiel real hard right now.
Just a little.
By order of Prioress Vicenzia Larksar, be it therefore known that from this day forth, Ramiel Indigo Larkshart Larest lives, all rights and titles have been restored to him. Lady Shizu Larksheart lives, and all rights and titles have been restored to her. From this day forward, it is decreed that Nova Hayes shall be henceforth given the title of Regent.
I'm sorry, what?
She shall be known as Honorable Friend of the Crown and Dreamer of the Eternal Cycle.
Okay.
Be it known that Ayla Stormborn be given a nobility and known as Lady Ayla Stormborn, Honorable Friend of the Crown and Roar of the Leven Fury. Be it known that Brayley Tourmaline be recognized with a nobility, and Lady Brayley Tourmaline will be known as an Honorable Friend of the Crown and the Jaw of Nature's Veracity. And of course, that Layla of the Sable be given a nobility, and she shall be known as Madame Layla of the Sable, Honorable Friend of the Crown and Sanctuary of the Compassionate Heart. Be it further known that Canis Mistal, in the eyes of the Mitra Gloriandan army, or nobility, does offer a full pardon and a nobility to Canis Mistal, who shall be known as Lord Canis Mistal, beloved consort of the prince, and his unequivocal truth. And of course, that Orion Moraine be given a nobility, and he shall be known as Lord Orion Moraine, beloved consort of the prince, his guiding light.
You get a nobility, you get a nobility, everybody gets a nobility. Although I guess I'm a
Romeo.
regent?
I
Not
mean, in
nobility?
fairness, that is how nobilities often end up happening.
Well, yeah, I know.
It's true.
you happen to be friends with someone who's in a high place, and you get a
Yeah.
nobility.
Although I'm regent,
You are a regent.
which is a little different.
It was the
Or else
it was
you
the
do
only
them a
gender
very big
neutral,
favor.
noble title I could find.
Oh, I see what you did. Okay.
Yes.
Kelly didn't immediately say nobility, but made sure to say for the other, so I didn't know if that was something different, but that makes sense.
Yeah, no, you are nobility as well. They just use the term regent,
Yeah. Trying
which
to find
technically means that you are a ruler of a minor kingdom.
I know. I always thinking of that. So I was like, oh shit, do I have land?
Which you have not been told that you're a landed noble, but maybe you are.
Shit, I'll take some land.
Listen, nobles get killed all the time up in Mitra Glorianda. There's probably some place that's not currently being ruled.
It's true.
Romeo, we need to have a talk about nepotism. Hey, look, it helps to know the prince.
It does.
But those are all your titles. Mal, you can go ahead and drop them in the group chat if you haven't
Yeah.
already. Okay, you already
Oh,
did.
she
Perfect.
did. Good stuff.
Those are indeed your titles. Any nation that has a diplomatic tie with Mitra Glorianda will recognize those titles and your nobility.
Hell yeah.
Woo!
I'm a dreamer, baby.
Asuka's like, I'm dating 3 nobles.
Ayla, feel like
Again.
Ayla's just going like, I can't escape this one. This
And I
one's
think-
everywhere.
And I think that's where we're going to wrap up for tonight.
All right. All right. All right.
Congratulations. You have all leveled up.
Oh, shit. Am I leveling
Woo-hoo.
up again?